Hi, we are Team MC Squared, number 53098, and this is our video on our project and energy cost.
This video will go over the actual cost of 3D printer filament versus the cost to make your own recycled bottle filament. The environmental cost and effect of recycling plastic will also be discussed, while the cost of 3D printers and building will be covered in another video. While it's easy to just set a print and let it work, you're pretty limited in how many builds you can make before swapping out your spool. Plastic bottles have a cash recycling value in the United States. That CRV will be used for these calculations. Assuming you have a small plastic bottle, like a water bottle, the CRV is 5 cents a pop at your local recycling center. But what if you could turn those water bottles into their own filament? The average filament spool costs around $20 for about 300 meters, or 6 cents per meter. That takes exchanging 400 bottles at your closest recycling joint. Yet using 82 of those water bottles and putting them through our prototype would make a full spool of around 300 meters, with 400 of these bottles making almost 5 spools.
Although the printing process takes a lot of time, it is always worth it in the end. We spend most time shredding and extruding our bottles, often spending well over 24 hours to process a spool. It was initially costly to build our prototype from the gearbox and heating, but our major pieces were 3D printed, which saved us time and money. Although these prices of time and money were measurable, the impact our cheap filament makes on the environment is immeasurable. Although there are a variety of ways to reuse plastic bottles, people are more comfortable tossing their bottles into the recycling bin rather than putting effort into creating something like a bottle garden. You may think that the plastic bottles belong in the recycling bin so they can be turned into new materials. Only 9% of plastic waste is shipped overseas to manufacturers willing to turn them into new materials.
Since our prototype takes your water bottles away from the transportation cycle and into the 3D printer, you're able to make a much wider range of products with the added benefit of having immediate access for your home and community alike. Without that access, buying a product made of recycled material leads you right back where you started.
Enough plastic is tossed out annually to surround the earth 4 times. And America only throws out 35 billion plastics a year. From San Diego County EDCO Recycling Center sorts 80,000 pounds of recycling material hourly. This plastic clogs up foreign trading ports, leading to inconveniences for governments and environments. From the product cycle of manufacturer to consumer, and even through the hidden cycle of waste transportation, synthetic products are transported over 10 times. 91% of all synthetic waste invades ports and oceans around the world, and less waste in the sequence means more room and time for your packages. Carting over 1.4 million plastic-filled ships a year leaves far less room for profitable goods such as ramen and Apple devices.
The U.S. government pays upwards of $100 billion a year for transporting their synthetic waste overseas to foreign governments, many of which are unable to handle the energy costs. Imagine the U.S. government using those $100 billion on improving their clean energy instead. Countries such as Ireland and Britain, for example, have used their funds to enforce less usage of plastic bags. This has lightened the energy load of their recycling companies and led to cleaner air. On the land end of the cargo cycle, 64 million beverage materials are transported daily in Escondido County alone. This leads to increased oil costs and air pollution, especially in California, where gas prices are steadily increasing at the time of writing.
With our prototype, we are able to not only take that plastic waste out of the cargo cycle and make room for profitable cargo, but also eliminate the need to wait for products such as recycled materials. You're also able to get more product for your money when you make recycled filament, albeit having to put yourself to work. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Your support is appreciated.